Hey everybody, I'm Ashok, and I recently had a conversation with Aditya Sen, who is a software engineer 3 in Google. He had an incredible story. He was unemployed for around 10-15 days in his early days, and today he's at Google. He worked in VMware, Broadcom, the giants in the market. And today Aditya is a person who started his career with ECE engineering and now he is in Google. So his career transition from ECE guy to having a career transition to a computer science and then in Google. So can you just describe about how your career has been?
Thanks, Ishan. First of all, thanks for inviting me over here. So yeah, my career altogether was upside down. So finally, I am in Google. So before that, my journey was not so amazing. Actually, I am from as you told that I am from ECE background. I am a 2016 pass out from electronics background, and my grads in that electronics was not that much also that I was not a topper. First of all, in Indian colleges, mostly in Indian colleges, right? So there are very few openings in electronics and communication. Very few companies hire for EC guys, and that too for the tag that we used to get in our courses, right? In curriculum was very good. So mostly the companies were IT companies, and that's the option we had. So I also got placed in two MNCs, that is Infosys and Cognizant. So I had offered of both the companies as a we call them as mass recruiter. So I was about to join them, but fortunately for Infosys, right, my I got joining very late, and I'm from EC background, so I got some time to prepare myself for more since I have to go in IT profession, and I am from EC, so I should be knowing a lot of subjects. So I got some time to prepare for other subjects and some enhance my coding skills. So I utilized that time, and I came to Bangalore. And in Bangalore, I started because since Mysore is very close from Bangalore, so I came here and started attending couple of walk-in interviews. That time in 2017 when I came, so a lot of walk-in interviews used to happen that time. The Zoom intro interviews and online interviews were not in trend, so mostly we have to go over face-to-face interviews, and we have to take buses and different interviews. So I got to know how to, like, I was in the race where all non-job seekers and with a couple of who 2016 pass out, 2015 pass out, and 17 pass outs are also there. So a lot of crowd was here in Bangalore, so I got a lot of exposure because I have to be means I have to stand out with among them. So I gave started giving a lot of interviews there. So at that time I developed a strategies like how to stand out with different people, since my grads are not that, but I am from EC background. Here in Bangalore, if you want to even go for a okay company, like we want to
A
go for
decent
a
company,
like
yeah.
mid, yeah, so you have to see a queue of like thousands people. So that that was my first experience when I went to one company in Kormangla. When I saw like 2000 engineers standing in a line, like 2015, 16 and 17, so they were just shortlisting on the basis of who is from EC, who is from computer science, and who is from like 16 pass out. So like this they used to shortlist, and GD and those things happen. So that was my first experience. I was just gone out because I was from EC. So that time I thought that there's one thing that we used to say, right, all branches are equal, but if there are a lot of students, then they definitely there should be a criteria that they will not
Right.
be taking interviews of 1,000 people. So that time I decided, yeah, I have to prove ourselves, like we are EC engineers, so somewhere we lag behind. So that time I gave lot of interviews, lot of experience I got, and fortunately I end up in some good company before my Infosys joining, and it was a product based company. There I was a test engineer. I started a test engineer as an intern. I cannot name the company now, but yeah, you can, if you want, you can check it in my LinkedIn. Yeah, so there I started, and again it was a struggle for us because all those things were new to us. So
Right.
yes, it took time to ramp up. Then after a few days, when the things that I want to include in this call, right? So whatever the companies that I've applied during the first struggle, right? I will say the struggle, like 1 or 2 months of struggle, it was. So those companies used to call me after 5 months, 6 months also, because they have my resumes in their database. So fortunately, after 7, 8 months when I was there, I joined there as an intern. They did not convert the intern because the company went through some merger, and they were not willing to convert every intern to the full-time employees. So I started giving interviews of the company, and there are a lot of interviews I gave. because now the testing tag was included in my profile. So I thought let's stick to that profile, because again, going as a fresher and applying for companies, instead I have 9 or 10 months of experience in my resume. So I added that and applying mostly in a testing role. So that time testing was not only testing, now it's called SDAT profile, where coding plus testing, that is mostly a backend job, backend or development plus writing test cases in any language, like be it Java, Python. So it was coding plus testing. So that profile I built my resume and started applying. So then I got into a startup company. So again, that now this time I applied in so many companies. I gave interview like for a month. I gave interview for one day. At least three interviews I was giving. Sometimes some interview was in JP Nagar. Someone is
All are
in
walking. All are walking.
all were walking. That's the problem that time. And
Okay.
the and the struggle, what I would say is, suppose if a company, if you are applying for an HSR, they will take three rounds, and one day they will call, then again they will call, and then the fourth day will say that no, the fourth round, third round was not good, so we won't be taking you. So those things also used to happen, and we have to manage our current job. The good thing that I would say is, since nowadays people are encouraging the online interviews, so we don't have to waste our time traveling and commuting, because in Bangalore or any other cities, right, so traffic is a big problem. So yeah, and even if we go there and they reject us and they come back, and we have to, first of all, in our offices we have to tell we have to go to
You
some
have to take
attend some.
half day or leave. Yeah.
Yeah. So means I'm not stressing that things there, but telling these things, since whatever the journey was there, no, so it actually helped me. So those interviews that I gave, so it gives me experience how to tackle the questions in different scenarios,
Correct.
how to understand the situation. Since I was jobless that time, for 15 days I was jobless, and immediately no one gets a job immediately, since if we are jobless, right, so we have a pressure in our back of a mind, like how we will tackle the interview. This is my last opportunity, and being a boy, right, so we have some more dependencies from home. Yeah, we cannot tell sometimes that to
Of
parents, like I
course.
skipped two full-time offers from Cognizant and Infosys. So then I got an offer from a good startup from Mangla. Then I started working there, and I enjoyed a lot. It was a very friendly company, so there the learning was great. Since I was giving a lot of interviews, so that built a confidence in me. Always the confidence was there. Now those companies that I was applying, I applied for VMware. So VMware call came when I joined the company. 4 or 5 months, I thought that from that day I decided I won't skip any interview, because very rarely we get an interview call, and that too from a big product based company. So be it, I was very comfortable and enjoying and growing in that startup, but still I attended an interview, because I should be respecting interviews, because I had seen the days when
From the
I had
VMware,
not.
right? From the
Yep,
VMware,
yep.
right? Okay.
VMware, yeah. So I was very confident that time, that since my, because now if you are working in some company and then you go to give an interview, right? So you are a bit brighter edge, like you can be more confident. And I went with confidence. I gave an interview, and fortunately all those three rounds went very smoothly. I was not expecting any offer from that. That immediately they were so happy that they gave me like a huge percent of jump that I was not even expecting. I just tell them like 150% I want, because I don't want to join VMware. I thought I was very happy there. Then they gave me like 200% hike. So I just accepted that offer, and then 6 years now, 5 plus 6 years I was there in VMware. Now still in this 5 6 years of life, right, I was very happy. I was all remote. VMware was very good company, but still I used to get, whenever I used to get the interview calls from any company. Now since the VMware tag was in my resume, and my whatever the things that I was doing is, I was updating my resume, I was updating my LinkedIn profile, and whatever the job portals are there, I was keep on updating them, and whatever the achievements that I was getting. So I used to update. Suppose my manager has given me some reward or some appreciation we have done for some external project or hackathon we participated. So everything I used to update on my LinkedIn and the resume, but I was not applying anywhere. But whenever I used to get calls from any competitive companies, so I attend used to attend the interview, and a lot of times I got all those offers, means opportunities converted also. So that's why I did it, because we used to be updated, like whatever the current market is going on, what are the questions they are asking. So I was prepared. Like even that work I was not doing in my VMware role. The work was, since in every product based company, right, the work is we will be doing in some legacy code. So the work wise it's very stable. No, if you want to learn a lot new technology, you have to do a side course or side project also. Mostly I have seen with my friends also, the interview bar is so high, but the work wise sometimes it's not that much that you will learn new like cutting edge technology or something. So I used to do some masters or something, PGD I have done during my pandemic. So all this was sponsored by VMware. So I these things for learning different technical stacks, so that I will be updated with the current market situation. So I did those things. I just attended interviews, so that kept me updated. Now, how Google came in picture was in the same flow. I was not applying anywhere. I just for Google I was applying from like long time. Google was my first dream company. So 7 or 8 times I have applied, but this time what difference was there from last applications that I have applied? So this time I when I applied for Google, I applied with some summary about me. Like I am Aditya, these are my current roles, these are the work that I am doing, how the role that I'm applying for aligned with my work. So this message I put, there's an option note to manager. So I think that played a role. I did not require any referral from anyone that I please refer me for Google or something. I had folks in Google who were working, but this is the difference that I made. And now the process for me was not that typical, because since in my like 7 or 8 years of journey I've given so many interviews. So that's why this whatever the rounds happened, so I was able to tackle them positively. And
So the transition, what I can see, there was a hard time as well in your journey, where you stated that you were jobless for 15 days. The jobless is really a negative and the harsh word. And that struggle for 15 days break or make somebody. So that days to now in one MNC that is leading the tech market worldwide. So it's a whole, I will say, a transaction. And can I know the major reason to you rejected the traditional companies and choose to work in a startup? So, what was the major reason out of it? And you can, of course, choose to go back to the traditional companies. And that will be much more easier way. It is a stable job and it is a traditional company way. Yeah, the package can be a bit less than the startup companies, but the scarcity of getting out of the company and getting unplaced or tomorrow or getting lay off tomorrow will be neglected,
right.
and you can like much more stable in traditional companies. So why you choose startup over traditional companies?
So you asked two questions actually. I'll just first of all take the first one. So being what I would say is from where I am currently, from the place where I was, like I was jobless and I now I'm in Google. So it's not altogether a like amazing journey, and so it's just a learning. So how, what I would say is, right, if you are jobless, the value of whatever the things that we have. So suppose I would have joined Infosys that time, so it's also a good company. It's like a good training that they were providing in Mysore. That was a lot of green things like there. My friends were there telling it's so much fun, we'll all be there, enjoy and everything. So I had an offer, but instead I took this product based startup in a mid segment company, since because it was, one point was that it was paying more. The other thing was that growth, like the growth and some struggle would be there. I knew that I am from a different background, I don't have that much of skills, but I want to do this hustle. So I took that step, and that just means it backfired me. I went to this place and I did not get full time offer. It backfired. But that learning that I got, like I should be valuing the companies, and even like people, a lot of people get interview invites. Like people reach out to them when they are definitely in the comfort zone. They thought that yeah, everything is going fine. Let's not do that. I don't want to go to that company. Also, it's okay company. But I would recommend everyone just attend that interview. Even you don't want to go to that company, just respect that sometimes you even get opportunity, or you will just struggle to get your interview scheduled, because the graph of a career, right, it is easy to move towards upward if you reach to a certain package or certain place, right? Like your package is suppose X, and the recruiter will call that we cannot offer you that much also. It's, you are already in the upper side. So that time very few companies are left over to, but just start giving whenever you get an opportunity. Just talk to the recruiter, or if you are not available that time, you need to prepare. So just ask them to give more time. and be prepared whenever. So because some big opportunity comes, right? Like in my case, I was giving continuously interviews. So if I would not be giving interview, if I got a call from Google, then I have to again prepare my resume. I have to prepare, like I need to prepare for DSA for 3 months, 4 months. So I did not require that. When I got the call, I just took that. Yes, it's a normal day for me. Just schedule the interview. I'll be ready to give the interview. So if you will be in that place, if you read whatever the recruiter who is reaching out to you or you are applying, just attend the interview, learn from that. If you are failing, that doesn't matter. Since you are already working, you will be learning. Note down the interview questions, whatever they are asking, what you are not able to give, because the
Right.
flow of every tech interview is almost the same. If you are applying for some profile, so it will be same for the companies, but sometimes question definitely changes, but
Right.
the
Right.
flow is almost the same. And your next question was like being out of the, so answer is this only, like we have to be out of the comfort zone, since we are in IT industry and we have seen the dynamics from like few years, like everyone is, it's like a squid game every day now. So we have to be market prepared.
Right.
uh, yeah.
So,
To sustain. Hmm.
if you look at that perspective,
Hmm.
what you will advise non-tech guys to who are looking for a better job options and want to switch their career to tech? What you will advise non-tech guys to get a job in tech? How to
Yeah.
and what roadmap should they follow?
Yeah, it's a great question actually. These questions, since most of the engineers, right? If you talk about normal college, like 30% nowadays they have increased in computer science, and rest, what about 70%? Since we don't have job for mechanical, civil, very jobs are there, but very less. And people like suppose a chemical engineer, they say that I have to chemical engineer because after 12th I did not get any counseling. It's a great branch, but in India, like they have to be somewhere in those locations also. Sometimes mechanical engineers, they take there will be some jobs, but on the end, like final year, they decide to move to the computer science companies, since computer science companies are visiting. So that time deciding and not getting a company offer or college placement, that's someone will feel very bad, right? Okay, all my
Right.
college friends are placed and we are civil mechanical, and now we have to prepare for gate or some cat. So that's time this question is very normal. And even after some people like got into some role of suppose some sales or marketing, then they want to move in IT. So what I would say is, for any branch who is not a computer science engineer, right? There are a lot of opportunities in IT companies also. We think from outside, right? Suppose we are not in a place where our circle will be telling us like there are so many opportunities in IT company. They will, because from generally as an outsider, right, who is new to company. Suppose you work in IT company, you work in a bank, you are some manager or someone, right? Or you work as you are in a gate, preparing for gate or something. So you will think like only computer science jobs are software development, and for that you will be required to learn DSA. You will be required to learn coding, and you should be very smart in coding. It's not at all like that. So if you are from some non-tech branch, there are so many opportunities. Better to just explore, how many profiles are there. Think layman, like if there is a company, suppose a startup also, suppose they're in a mobile, right? We have any app, suppose Swiggy or Ola or any credit. So if it's a startup, so definitely they will be requiring a back-end engineer, front-end engineer, test team. Now these are the basic roles that people think of, right? But there are roles like who will be deploying it. DevOps, there is a huge role. DevOps engineers, then cloud support engineers, and then tech support engineers who resolve our queries. These are IT jobs and white collar jobs with almost equal amount of salary. Now the business side, there are a lot of jobs like business analyst, financial analyst, and then again this marketing, sales, these are there. Then but very the people who are good with communication in college, they have been doing a lot of cultural activities or in sports. There are very many jobs like customer success. They want to make their application successful also later. So not at all only coding engineers who are good with coding, right? They will be only getting this job. So lot of jobs are there. So definitely you should be exploring other roles also whenever you are thinking like you are not good at coding. If you are you first of all, if you are okay, then you learn definitely a good course. You learn data science, ML, and now AI is trending. It's easily, there are a lot of courses available. You can
Right.
learn, you can grasp, since you are an engineer or some person who can learn these things, right? There are a lot of good courses available. You try that. If not happening, if you are struggling there, what I would say is just no, don't stick to it for 1 or 2 years. I've seen like people struggling for the same role. They want to be a
Right,
data
right,
science engineer. Like nowadays, like 2022, there was a data science boom. So everyone
right,
wanted to be a data science engineer, machine learning, and everything. And then a few jobs were there. Now still they are applying for reaching out to recruiter that I am a data scientist. I'm a data scientist. Dude, just follow the trend, man. There are a lot of opportunities. There are like hundreds of opening in the cloud side and DevOps side, and you are just applying for data science. Just change your resume to that. Learn, develop some skills related to cloud or DevOps or
yep,
what is the demand. Just so that's how you will get into the market. That's how you get into company. If you want to develop yourself as a data scientist, after getting a job, after getting internally, you can build some projects, show to your manager, and you can do a transition later also. Just first thing
right.
is just do not stick to one thing only. I would always recommend, if you are okay, you have seen there is a lot of struggle and a lot of people getting, there's a lot of competition also. So first thing is think smartly, right? Change
Yep.
your profession also, change your whatever the skills you're following.
It's all about mindset, right?
Yeah, mindset, right.
Um, Yeah, I was just I want to share one thing here that I was just studying about the researches that has been done from past couple of years about the tech industry and where the tech jobs will be in India and how it will be growing, which pattern will it be following. So I found that BPO industry is expected to grow. That you talked about customer success, technical support.
Right, right.
These industries will be at the boom in India in next 5 years. Why? Because in China and in like other countries that are South Asian countries where the market rates are cheap for the labor, and these technical support and customer success people were having their headquarters there, like companies were having headquarters there. Their main headquarters is in Europe and America, but they have their second BPO headquarter located in South Asia. Now what they are doing is they're like taking an exit from China and different South Asian countries because majority of these countries are having unstable political area and multiple other factors as well, and they are coming to India. If you can see Gurugram, Gurugram is one of the hub now for new tech companies and MNCs, where their second headquarters are being listed there. Their main offices are there. And you can witness that tomorrow maybe BPO headquarters can be set up there as well. Non-tech people can of course look at these tech roles that are into technical support and customer
Yeah.
success and then can switch to SD roles and different roles maybe.
So that's the what most important thing, right? Since India
Right,
average is like below 30 also, and people are not aware. The main thing is that people are not aware. The operations itself require a lot of manpower, and mostly other countries and everything they are investing in India. And startup culture is also going. So just be aware. I would say I'm not forcing, but whenever if you want to sustain in industry or something, right? Whenever you open your mobile, just look into this LinkedIn and other profiles where you can be aware about it.
right,
Like we open our Instagram and everything, right? So parallel to that, open this thing also, because even it's not just for applying for jobs also. You'll get a lot of things to know what is the trend
right,
and
right,
everything. So if you want to be in this industry, definitely. And in India, like for non-tech people, it's huge. We will come to know about different kind of opportunities, and you can immensely go. There are very much many roles that a company has, even we also don't know. So talk to your friends who are in IT. Suppose someone is very good with some management skills, but does not have MBA, but company hire BTech engineers as a program manager, and
right.
that too pays a lot. Means I've seen people earning a lot and making good money and doing trips. It means going to the client side, and also means a lot of exploration are to be done. Still, there are a lot of opportunities, and companies are not getting good engineers, good
Right.
people. So yeah, yeah, definitely that comes from awareness.
Yeah, so that I personally realized as well that many people know that what is trending in Instagram, but they don't know the market trends.
Yeah,
So this is usually a gap, and yeah, people should be serious about this as well. That like uh, in past 20 years, the newspaper rates, like the reading newspaper rates and habits are getting like stagnated. It's more of they are showcasing their downfall in every quarter. Like there are very less people reading newspaper today, especially the age bracket from 18 to 25. They are reading newspaper very less. That's why like Economics Time and Mint, these companies are starting their digital premium and
Yeah,
having their digital presence more. So
already, I think
yeah,
most of them are already good. Yeah,
yeah.
right.
So that's why like you can like if somebody is also reading digital newspaper and just showcasing some like acknowledgement towards that, then also they can revise that which companies are like doing performing well and which companies like can be into a trouble. So it usually the bankruptcy of the company or the merger of the company is the biggest thing that usually gives you an insight that this company is will be starting layoffs or maybe will freezing their hiring. So if you are
Correct.
thinking of getting into any company, then if the company is getting into merger or their quarter have been like regularly they are making losses, for example, Byju's, not we are not promoting any company or naming any company, but we are not throwing balls. But yeah, it is like there are some companies where you can witness that this is happening. Then of course, if you apply for these roles in these companies, you will be in danger. But if you can check the top 10 rankings of the company's quarter profits and the stability of the company, that will define that this company is safe. So this is the best criteria, what I believe, to be in any company.
True, true, very true.
Yeah, according to you, what is the best way out for people to categorize any company and to apply? Should they apply just randomly by going to their company page and just click on apply button? Or should they approach HR first? Or should they approach their friend for referrals? Or they is there another thing that they should just start cold mailing? So what do you think is the better option?
Yeah, so this basically depends on which situation he is, right? He or she is. So if you are suppose jobless, right? So there is no way, like there is no straightforward way that how to approach to company. Anything that is possible, right? I know a lot of tips and tricks I have told given to the people, and they were able to get into the market. So if you are in that situation, suppose if someone is not having any job or someone has got laid off or got transition offer, and they, because people at my age, right, I like 8 years or 6 years 7 years of experience, they definitely have some emis and a lot of mental pressure will be there if they are jobless, right? So that time, just don't wait for something like I should follow a particular approach, like I have to go to LinkedIn and apply. There are a lot of places that is one thing. You should be first of all updating your all the job portals, Naukri.com, LinkedIn, the well found for if you want to go for startup companies. So these three are the priorities that I give. And also, if it means you have to update your resume every time, you have to make your resume updated the day that whatever the task you have done, everything should be mentioned in your resume of the projects that you have done, and your this thing, your cover letter, like a summary about you. If someone who is not looking into your resume, and if you send them your resume through mail, suppose, or you reach out to them through your LinkedIn, so definitely if someone is very much busy, they don't even open your resume, just they will read a summary about you. Suppose you are xyz and you have this much years of experience and these are your tech stack, and currently you are working with someone, and basic lines, right? Basic introductory lines. So you just be prepared about those things, and now you have to apply everywhere. Like your profile is ready in LinkedIn, and now you try to find out references, not reaching out to someone. I'm not talking about not reaching out to someone. Suppose someone works in Ola or someone works in Flipkart, just DM them, share their resume, and tell them this is a particular job idea I want to just. That is a good thing. That is a you must follow. But apart from that, you can do this web scraping in LinkedIn. So you will find the email ID. Suppose you want to apply for like backend engineer with MERN technologies. Just search those keywords, MERN technology backend openings. As if you turn, you will get a post. Just shortlist means filter it out with the recent post, find more than more email IDs and the content summary that you have prepared, right? Share your resume and that content to that particular email IDs or the people who has put that opening. That is one thing. Then the other thing is like in like few years back, now also it's active. So people who are working in service-based companies mostly. So in service-based company, take an example of Accenture. So in Accenture, right, if you work, so you will get a mail from your org level, like there are like hundreds of opening in this particular teams. Please refer your friends or ask your fellow mates to if they are interested. There are openings for freshers, 0 to 2 years experience, 4 to 6 years, like different profiles like C Sharp, SAP, different domains, right? So
Right,
hundreds and
right,
thousands of them, they won't be putting in LinkedIn and everything because
right,
there are suppose one need, because they work in the projects, like some client is Vodafone, some client is Barclays, right? So they are different opening, and they just give a Excel to their employees. So how these people do is, there are Facebook pages. In, if just you can make a note, if someone who's listening, there are Facebook pages like MRA job seekers, Bangalore job seekers, Pune job seekers, with lot of following, like 1 million followers are there. So a person who, because they get a referral bonus also, and they just take the screenshot of that particular opening and put it in these pages. If anyone who want interested, just share their resume to their email ID, and they just refer it. That is a small thing that people don't know. Even they just apply on the company portal, and instead of just going through these posts. So that also you have to figure it out. Just keep on checking Facebook. I know that Facebook is outdated, but still these pages are active, and lot of tractions
right,
is still coming in these pages. And there are pages, Facebook, Naukri.com, you guys already know, and there are a lot of new pages, because the pages that I will talk about, it's not always trending. So there are new pages that have come, right? Indeed or something. So you should be aware about, follow good YouTubers or people who mostly post these things in Instagram also. So apply whatever the possible way, if you are, but just that you have to be aware, like your resume should be good. Get your feedback from someone who is experienced, your resume reviewed by someone, and they will definitely help you. Because if we think like, yes, our resume is good, I have mentioned everything, and why I'm not getting call, I'm applying
right,
everywhere, and then struggles, and they say that job market is not at all good, they lay off are going, it's good, man. It's just the way how you should apply, how you to get into the market. So just be smart. So I would just suggest, if someone who is in this place who wants to get into the company, just instead of studying, is, if you how is your one day should spend, right? if you are if you are in front of your computer for 8 hours and you are not working, so definitely you should give 5 hours in applying and 3 hours for preparing. Because once you apply and your interviews get scheduled, so you will get around 1 week or 2 weeks. So what I have seen, it's my personal experience, so in that few days, right, you will prepare a lot.
next question is that if anybody wants to land a job in top MNC, especially in Google, then what are the steps? Is it just like apply button and just go ahead with that? Or is it more? Or what about the interview process? Is it simplified or is it step by step? It is 3 round, 5 round, or how it is?
Okay. So, means I've been most of the MNCs and product-based companies I've attended interview. So it depends on company to company. Like Microsoft interview process is totally different from Google's, and be it if you want to apply for Apple or Meta, it's a bit different. But Google's, I really like Google's interview process altogether. It was a lengthy process, but they will judge you on each and every aspect. So I'll talk about how my process went. So first of all, that when I applied, right, told that I did not ask someone to refer me. I just applied them through LinkedIn in the career portal, and I applied, and I got some call like within a week or 2 week. So once they call you, right, so they will ask you about basics of you, like what are you currently doing, which company you are working, and what are your tech stack. Basically, they will ask these things, and if they find okay that this is the job requirement they are hiring for, so they will definitely ask you how much time you require to for prepare yourself. So I gave them 1 month. Mostly people gave 1 month, because since we have to go through a lengthy process, and even before that they ask to attend you phone screening round. So phone screening round will be your first round for most of the people who apply, right? Phone screening is the first round. It will be a coding round. They will, suppose if you are going for a TE or soft SWE or L4 L5, any role that is engineering role, R&D role, so they will ask you this one DSA problem or a normal problem that is related to some string array or something related to those only. uh, so for me, I fortunately I did not face that, because my profile was almost aligned with the role that I was applying. So I just they told me that after 1 month we will get back to you. Meanwhile, you can prepare. So I was not preparing actually. I was just going through the revision stuff and all. So once they call me, they schedule all these four in DSA rounds. Actually, five on-site rounds. In Google, they call it on-site rounds. It used
Okay.
to be on-site in physically before pandemic, but now they take it offline. So Google, how Google hire is like, if you are applying for some company, some team, specific team, so it's not particular they only will be taking the interview, someone else will take. It's like a hiring for a service company. The rule is like, means the process is like that. So you have to clear all those rounds, and then your package will be prepared, and that's kept. And all the managers of any team, like be it YouTube, Google Maps, or GCP, or Google Search, they will be having a look of your packet, and they can reach out to you. Like, you have cleared all those rounds, so they can reach out to you. So it's like that. So my interviewers were from mostly from Singapore and Japan. So all four on-site rounds were not eliminator round. First two rounds were scheduled for within a 1 week. So like Tuesday one round, and then Thursday one round. It was a 1 hour of a Google Meet session. So there it was not a IDE editor where we have to run the code. It was just like a codelet where we have to type in a notepad, and you have to iterate. There will be a one problem that will be a puzzle. Definitely it will be a complicated puzzle, but it means it requires some DSA, and you have to solve like brute force. They won't encourage they, because since most of the products are cloud based, so they require that it should be less complex. So they will ask you one problem. You have to first of all tell them the approach that you are thinking to solve that problem, and what are the different approaches. You also you can think of it. You have to explain them verbally, then you can tell them the logic, and then you can start coding. So the Google interviewers are very lenient and very what we say, like optimist. Like they encourage you to be very comfortable. They will talk very nicely, right? It means I've given a lot of interviews. Sometimes like interview just will go into you, and like they will just about to kill you if you are doing too wrong. So they are very nice. They felt me very comfortable. They made me feel very comfortable, and I started writing the code. And then they gave the on that question only, in all the round this happened, all in those questions only, they gave asked couple of 2 3 4 questions related to that only. Then they asked me to reduce the complexity. And then, as an engineer, like if you are preparing for a Google, so you should be aware, like whatever the code you write, you should yourself give the test cases of that. So I gave the test cases. Then he asked more edge cases, more scenarios related to that. And that was a awesome conversation with all those four interviewers. Then one round will, well, this will be 3 rounds specific to this DSA and problem solving. One round will be your role specific. If you are a front end engineer, then you may be asked some frameworks or front end related questions. But after your problem solving, it will be like 30 20 minutes only. It will be not like if you are test engineer, then explain a framework, or if you are some engineer, then explain some technologically specific. I mean, so there will be a very generalized interview. Like, even if you are a uh, like some experienced guy or something, so they won't be asking some technology specific. There will be no coding language bar. Any language, any logic, they are happy to see your answers. Then after this process, right, so once you clear all those four on-site rounds, so there will be a behavioral round. They call it googliness round. Well, the good thing also, before once you clear all these rounds, the recruiter will be giving you all the feedbacks, and whatever the thing that you have told, right, in the interview, even where you missed one, suppose a binary also, where you missed, or suppose you gave a extraordinary answer, so they will keep on noting each and everything about your interview. Like, they will be creating a paragraph of it, and they will be telling to the recruiter, like, these are the points I really liked about this guy. And so everything will be mentioned. Then in the feedback, once the interview is done, the recruiter will reach out, like, how was your interview? If it is positive, how positive? There are categories of positive, lean positive, then higher, lean higher, strong higher. So those feedbacks you will get. Then after that, the third or fifth round would be googling class round. That is not, that is a different from other companies, because they look for the leadership skills. That's a very that I won't say it's an easy round. You have to prepare yourself, because Google is very much concise about its principle. Like, they want leader in every engineer. If you are 2 years of experience, or even like a fresher, or like 10 years of experience, so everyone has to face this round. So it is a 1 hour interview. They will ask you about very complicated scenarios. Like, suppose I'll give you an example. Like, when you have a conflict with your colleague, or suppose your colleague is absent and you don't have any documentation, and you have to deliver something in very strict deadline. So how will you tackle that situation? So in that question only, if you are able to give, and then they will again create a situation like how now this, how would you handle, and this how would you handle. So it was also like a preparation is needed for that round. Then once you are done with all these rounds, then this phase come when you are visible to all the hiring managers. So whatever the suitable hiring manager that suits your profile and they looks like, yeah, this is a perfect match for me. So they will reach out to you. That will be a non-tech discussion, just a casual discussion for 30 minutes, like how your resume align and with the current role. So anyone who wants to apply for suppose Google search or YouTube, right? So there they can even they have applied in the profile of Google Cloud, they can ask recruiter that I want to go for YouTube. So they can arrange a fit call with your YouTube manager. There they will ask some questions. If both like each other, then you can go for the YouTube round. Then if don't, so you have other opportunities. So this is, I think, eligible for 6 months. So you can look for the particular team that you want to get into it. So for me, fortunately, I ended because the work that I aligned with Google Cloud. So I was happy to go with the Google Cloud. And then it's not done yet, right? So now the big thing comes, that is hiring committee. So the hiring committee is the one thing that takes a lot of time. So I have seen like people getting rejected in hiring committee because even your all 4 rounds were good, you got positive feedback from your recruiter, and googliness round went good. But if something they finds like this could be done better, or some other, or the basis of your experience, so they will decide either they will be not hiring you, or they will be giving you a low ball offer. Suppose you are 8 years of experience and you are okay to go for L5 level, but they may give you offer of L4. This happens with most of the big FANG companies, like they give you a low ball offer. So you have to do a good negotiation if you get uh, so how this hiring committee works, I can just give you a detail about it. So basically, your all those details of interview, the feedback that I told you, that will be captured in googliness round. Then they will be asking you few details about you, like when you go, if you are an experienced guy, like about your promotions, about your previous companies, about your education, that kind of background check. So everything they will be taking out. They will be if you have some references in Google, like if you know a couple of people, so they will ask the references, and it's not that they will not reach out to them. They will definitely reach out to them. They will call them. They will ask your feedback about you, how you know this person. So they are very much aligned on the feedbacks of the Googlers. They call ex Googlers or new Googlers. So they will be taking the feedback from them. Then your whole packet will be sent to hiring committee. So hiring committee in Google sits every week. So whatever the engineers who have applied in this few months, or whose interview processes are done, so their packet will be visible to the hiring committee. There they sit in a meeting room, and where whatever the process is, they decides like these are the points of this particular candidate, and that point, and they decide like what offer is to be made, and we have to hire them or not. So yeah, so everything matters. I was actually elaborating this process, right? So the connections you made during your corporate journey, if you know people, so have a connection with them, ask them how the process is. Because if you are not aware of the process, right, so you may be like having some you may not be having some any clues in some time, like what to do, what is this process and all. So we should be prepared about these things. So I was talking about this Google. Then also once this communication is done, so then they will be giving you an offer, and they will give you XYZ, what is your compensation they're offering. Then that is also 3 rounds. They will be doing a negotiation. You can do a good negotiation with them, because the initial offer will be a bit almost similar to the one that you already told them in your current offer. So what is the criteria, right? Like it's good with Google recruiters are very good in negotiation. So you should be smart enough to negotiate well, because they can give you a good offer also. So this is the flow the Google follows.
Yeah, so I personally recognize this problem. Personally, a 24 batch pass out. So
Mhm.
I saw this with my batchmates as well. Like, there were a couple of people who were referring a couple of my friends. So when I acted as a bridge and told them that Yeah, this is the opening here, and I can help you to refer in this
Mm-hmm.
place. And then the
Uh-huh.
next question from the other side is, where is the joining? Where is the interview call? So they don't
Mm.
know the process that easily. Like referral doesn't work like just like we refer and you'll be getting joining date directly, or you'll be
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
a call directly. It's a whole pipeline. It's a whole recruitment process. So you have described the process of recruitment and acquisition, talent acquisition in a whole overview and a detailed process. Can you just
Yeah.
make it as a timeline that first this happens, second this happens, third it happens, and fourth this happens? Can you make a timeline of it?
For
First to apply, yeah,
for Google or generalized for product
for
based?
Google, for Google, for Google.
For Google, right? It's like very same to all profile. Even if you are an engineer or if you are going for a non-tech role, so it's almost same for every role. So once you apply, right? So once a recruiter reach out to you, you have applied, then you will be getting 1 month. You can ask them, because it's if they have shortlisted your resume, it's not that if you will tell them that I'm not prepared, so they will skip your profile. No, it's not like they have you have rights. You can ask them for timeline, like I need some time for preparation. So once you prepare, right, so on that day only they will again reach out to you when your day is over. So now you're prepared, are you okay to give the interview? So it's like the next third phase, if you will call it, the phase 3, where they will be asking you dates to give the interview. So they will be blocking your, I think, two weeks for technical discussions, or if it is a non-tech profile, then also I think 2 weeks. So all those 2 weeks will be on-site rounds. On-site rounds will be not a eliminator rounds, I would say, because if you in this on-site rounds, right, if you are one of the round is not good, like if you are, sometimes people happen, right, there's a bad day and there's a good day. So we were
Right, right.
someone sometimes stressed from the previous birthday was not going, you're not able to, you if you even you know the answers, but you are not able to answer that time. So it's okay to them, because you have other 3 rounds. So these 4 rounds will be not an eliminator rounds. All these 4 rounds will be happening. Even if you got stuck in some question or something, then the fifth round will be scheduled only if your 4 rounds were done, I think, according to me, what I've seen. Like, then fifth round is all these 5 rounds, like this fifth round is googliness round, and that is a compulsory round for everyone, right? These rounds, when it is done, then we will say that the technical discussion phase is done. Now the hiring manager, now you are in the, if you are all those rounds were good, so you are, I would say, like, you have made it, like you are at least in their database, you can be getting an offer. So that round is a round that we both have to decide to the manager. That is the fifth thing, fifth or sixth point, I would say. Then the hiring committee. So we can put it in the phase wise. And I've seen people, like, I was reading some blogs and somewhere in that Quora and something, like people who have cleared all these on-site rounds, and they are not able to match their team, because they are all in software development, right, for L3 and L4, that is from 2 to 6 years or 8 years of experience. There are so many candidates who have already cleared their all the rounds with the positive feedback, but they are not able to match the team. They are so people wait there for like six months also, sometimes 1 year also. I've seen, I've read somewhere, like 1 year people are waiting, like, to get a perfect match. So this happens, but yeah, Google will keep your feedback till for at least for 1 year. And you have options to choose your location also. Suppose you want to go to Gurgaon location or some Pune location, so you can apply for that team also. Yeah, so these are the basic steps they follow. And yeah, they will be letting you each and everything know. All your questions will be cleared very nicely with the interviewer, or sorry, with the recruiter.
Okay. Okay. Noted. So it is much more like I would say it is not that complex. It is much more transparent process.
Yeah, it's a transparent process. Sometimes there may happen, like, people are saying that, yeah, I'm not getting a reply from the recruiter. Just wait patiently. Sometimes there are personal reason, they might be in PTO or something. So they will definitely reach out. I've not seen any recruiter ghosting in Google. So they are very fair and transparent in this.
Yeah, I saw ghosting in startups a lot.
That happens,
Yeah,
yeah.
this usually happens because that is the truth that majority of the startups have very less resources, and even the early stage startup, there are only
Mhm.
founders hiring, managing all the things. So there is no HR. So
Yeah.
yeah, there is a thing that there is no HR in early stage startups. So it frequently happens that startups usually don't reply at time for
Yeah,
employees.
even this happens, right? Because they have very small team, right? They think
Right,
that we will only hire and we will be completing the process and we will onboard. But onboarding, I think that we used to say that it's a very easy process, but I think that is a challenging process, that
right,
documentation and scheduling an interview and getting time from anyone, right? So yeah, I
right,
think ghosting becomes normal, because sometimes if you are working in a startup, right, so you got other priorities, because there is
right,
no straightforward way, because you are working in everything. So
right,
sometimes people, they are boosted, but there maybe some other priorities maybe that time. So for that cases, right, just stay in touch with the recruiter or the person who took the interview, because this happened to me once, right?
right.
I'll tell you one story. Last year, during Diwali, right, when VMware went to acquisition with Broadcom, so I was a little worried, like people won't be getting offer from Broadcom, we thought. So I was giving interviews, a lot of places I gave interview. So when a startup company, I got 8 rounds, all got, I was able to clear all those rounds. I was very happy, like 8 rounds I made, and the recruiter told that we will be rolling out your offer letter very soon. So it was Diwali time, and I saw at my home they have sent me the Diwali gift also. Huh? So that, how come Diwali gift came and the offer letter is not there till now? Diwali gave my hoodies and everything was at my home, and till now it's like 1 year now. Now again the Diwali came, no offer letter from them. So I, once I was free, I saw she was connected with my WhatsApp. I asked my recruiter like any update on my offer letter. So she told like your offer letter is still on hold. That position was closed for some few days. Once it is open, I will get back to you. So even I am here, but there one more opportunity is open for me. So it's like a backup, right? So just keep following with your recruiter. So I would give you a tip, like someone is ghosted or something, right? So it's not like that. Just keep in touch with them, put mail or whatever the places you have communicated with them, so that they get reminded you. Because in IT, right, it's like a squid game, I already told, right? Anything can
Yeah,
happen anytime. You just have connections. Even if you are not want you don't want to go to that company, but you have friend, you can tell
right.
them this is the same person, so they can help you scheduling interviews and getting into that company. So yeah, just whatever the connections you made, right, connect to them on LinkedIn or anywhere, right? So yeah, it's not it's a very small thing, but yeah, it's called soft skills to sustain in this industry.
Yeah, that was my next question, by the way. That do soft skills matter, and how soft skills can help you, like with the technical skills as well.
Means yeah, truly speaking, now this is, I think, one of the P0 that is most priority in being in corporate, right? I've seen people, means from my experience or generalizing these things, right, getting into a company after clearing interviews one thing, then after that company the work you have to do is almost everyone has to work together. It's a teamwork, right? uh,
Right,
People have to be optimist, mostly have to means for sustaining and for a long run, right? So work life work life balance is also matters, right? So for that case, right, I would say people, uh, how they will build this thing list, like listen to your teammates, help them if they are in need. Sometimes people who wants to go to take some leave or some their priorities, that means collaborate with each and everyone, understand each and everyone, because they will only be helping you once when you need some things. Because anyone, if you want to sustain in a company for long run, right, so that time building relationship with friends as not as a friend, but with a colleague, like understanding teammates, and so that it resolves the conflict also sometimes. Because if you are working on some bug fixing or some new project you are working, right, so you have to collaborate with each and everyone. So the understanding also matters with each and everyone. So you have to be very optimist, understanding the things that they are talking about, listen to each and everyone's point, encourage them. If they are wrong, then just make a note and tell them like these are the things that you are telling. Also that will be, if you are in good terms with your colleagues and your managers, right? So definitely they will be listening you, they will be understanding your situation sometimes. And definitely whenever the promotion cycle comes also, so they know that whatever the work you are doing, so they will be getting good idea about yourself, about your journey. So be whatever the task that we are doing, so just make a note, tell them to your manager, and on your colleagues also, represent them, talk about it. So these things comes in the soft skills, because developing something, coding and just pushing in the gate or whatever the repository doesn't will not help you in that way.
Right, right.
Like yeah, it will be documented somewhere, but we have to be on top of it. Just tell them, like if you are building some project, you have done some new research or something, tell them to your teammates, tell them to your meetings with the session, like with your there will be a weekly meeting, you can represent them, you can tell other teammates, so it will be good learning, you will get the feedbacks. So this is how you will build your product, also you will get good
Right,
learning, and people will they will what inspire you on different aspect. So I would
right,
say
right.
that comes with the soft skills.
Cool. There is a last question that I got recently from my like batchmate, that will DSA help you in getting a tech job, especially in FANG companies? Or do they prefer these DSA skills, or without DSA skills, you just have, for example, front end or back end thing? If you have that command, can you land a job in FANG, or DSA is must?
Yeah, yeah. I've seen this question. I means yeah, even I had this thought. For basically this Fang, right? Fang or Mang companies or big product based companies, right? So they emphasize on DSA a lot. So if but specific to roles, like if you want to go for R&D roles only, then only it is the priority. If you want to land up in some other roles that I spoke about, like cloud engineer, cloud support, or product manager, program manager, business analyst, and like tech support, and different roles are there apart from these the R&D roles, right? So there DSA doesn't matters a lot. There what will matter is problem solving. There will be a problem solving round where you, that is your mathematical problem, maybe you can call it, like there is a situation, there is a puzzle, like glass or bottle problems, those questions may be asked, you have to solve, you have to give the logic. So that will always be there. That's what DSA is. DSA is also like a problem solving, right? So how you, there's a complex problem and you have to solve in the smartest way. So their coding won't be needed much, but the analytical skills that you have, right? So if you remember, like during 10th, or if you give for a government job, if you want to apply for government job, there will be some problems you have to prepare, like RS Agrawal and some books were there, right? Used to there. So those problems are can be also solved from DSA, and those problems can be also solved theoretically, or means writing in the notebook. So those kind of problems must everyone should prepare. The coding language is not a bar for these bank companies, any language is fine. So you have to prepare the logic, at least the pseudocode you should know. And from a DSA point, so I would recommend, like if you are a developer or a back-end engineer or front-end, you should prepare these things. And it's not like anything that I will say from a name wise, like tree graph or something like binary search tree, so that you should be prepared. But for a non-tech person, it's fine, totally fine. You should be knowing the logic, you can know the pseudocode, but that would only help you in debugging sometimes, because you may ask to touch the code, look into the code and say that what problem this would have got caused. So don't worry about DSA much if you are not going for the tech role. But for tech roles, if you are a front-end engineer, then definitely you should be aware about few at least lead code, easy and medium, you should try.
Okay, so that means that if you want to land a job in core tech skills, a core tech industry, then DSA is must. Otherwise, for journalist role can be a PM role or BA role, business analyst role. Then DSA doesn't matter that much, right?
That doesn't matter. Well, so it matters, the problem solving matters, but DSA coding wise it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's just that like, how you are good with the work that you are doing, you are able to do the job description things that are mentioned in while applying, right? So if you are able to convince the interviewer like you are good with these with skills, and you are able to take that interview in that particular direction, right? So
Right,
where
right.
your strength is there, right? So you can tackle and clear that interview.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a
Hmm.
lot of sense. Cool. So, any last note that you want to give to the fresh grad, especially that, yeah, this needs to be done specifically for the fresh grads who just like qualified their last exams of their college or 24 batch, or maybe like who are just want to start their career in tech.
Yeah, there may be a lot of people as you guys are hearing in the news, right? There are very few company placements and everything. So people might be talking like there are very few opportunities and companies are not hiring. It's not at all like that. It was there few months back where companies are not hiring, but now the market is good. India's getting good exposure in semiconductor industries and other fields also, and there are AI related jobs. So one suggestions to everyone is, right, keep updating your resume with the new technology also, because the companies, right, the recruiter looks for the keywords rather than the projects. The projects they will be definitely looking, but the keyword specific your resume should be there. The tech stack the technology that you are applying for that should be specific in the key skills or the main skills. And first and second thing is like uh, first is like create your resume very nicely. Like it should not be like quantity wise lot of things should be mentioned. It should be very brief, and like if someone reads like, yeah, you have done this thing, whatever the achievements are there in suppose in coding or code chef or any achievement in hackathon, put that. That will definitely help. And then after resume, make your profile of LinkedIn very nice. Make as much as connections of your seniors and the people who are working in good companies. They will definitely help you if there are some openings in their company. They usually post. Add more and more recruiters. Follow these consultancy companies in LinkedIn, and this there are other spaces also. Follow these companies because there are a lot of openings they post. Then the foremost thing is, don't be a person who just knows specific to one technology. If you are not able to make it to one thing, just don't follow everyone. There are a lot of other opportunities also in the company, so just diversify yourself. If you are not able, if you are not good with DSA, if you are struggling with your different branch, you are struggling, and this is not the only thing. There are a lot of other things, lot of other profiles. Explore other profiles. Talk to someone who is experienced. Talk to some career counselor or a person who knows this industry. So they will decide, you make your resume related to that and apply for that, so you will be in the less competition, and later you can modify your skills or upgrade your skills and get into this thing. So first of all, your priority should not be just learning things and getting lot of good technology background and making notes of the things.
Right,
I would
right,
say rather apply. You will learn more in applying and giving interviews. The learning wise is a good point, means you should be learning, but just apply learning, because technology changes a lot.
right.
Previously like 2 years or 3 years back, people used to talk about blockchain. Now people used to talk about few days back
AI.
data science. Now people are talking about AI. Few days back something else will come. So if you are just learning and making notes and just keeping it with yourself now, so it doesn't make any sense. Rather give interviews. What will happen? Just getting rejection is not a thing. You will get other opportunities also. You just learning whatever the feedback you get from the rejection. Just try to work on that.
Cool. So, yeah, thank you for sharing your experience and your guidance to the audience. I appreciate that, like, your journey really inspired me, and it will inspire people as well, the viewers. And the advice, of course, people will be getting advantage if they follow these advices, and as well as they will be getting an edge. So yeah, it's
Great,
it's
great.
great. It's great talking to you, Aditya. Yeah,
Same, Ishak. Thanks for giving your time, and also it was a really nice conversation, and you asked a very good questions. So I hope like it would this communication that we had, right, it reaches to the person who really needs this. So yeah, great.